Hello everyone and welcome to today's session to learn all about the latest and exciting updates in Sage Accounting and Payroll. My name is Eliana. I am part of the education team here at Sage and I will be taking you through the session today. Let's start by looking at the agenda. In today's agenda, we will be discussing the VAT XML update, the exciting and new features and updates in accounting and payroll. I will familiarize you with what the Ideas portal is and also share further support and training that's available to you. So let's start looking at the VAT XML update. From the 8th of April 2021, HMRC are closing the legacy technology known as VAT XML channel, which means that some customers and accountants will need to change the way they submit VAT returns. If accountants have clients that are VAT registered but are not yet signed up to MTD, they're likely to be impacted by these changes, especially if they're using bookkeeping software to submit their non-MTD VAT returns, as HMRC would no longer be supporting this from April. Here you can see an example letter that's gone out to your clients. It goes through the different options that they have and what is required to use MTD. So what are the changes and what are the options the clients have? So again, from the 8th of April 2021, HMRC are withdrawing the XML channel used to submit non-MTD VAT returns via software. This means that for businesses not yet signed up to MTD for VAT, they will no longer be able to directly file VAT from bookkeeping software. These businesses have two options. Option number one, voluntarily register for MTD for VAT submissions. Option number two, submit VAT return directly from HMRC by logging into the Business Online VAT account and typing in the 9-box figures. From April 2022, MTD for VAT will be mandated for all VAT registered businesses, which means that the businesses below with VAT threshold that are voluntarily VAT registered will now fall within the scope of MTD and will need to comply with the following rules. 1. Sign up to MTD. 2. Maintain digital records. 3. Update HMRC quarterly via software, retaining digital links to the transactional data. So what accountants should do? Similar to our advice to the lead up to April 2019, when MTD for VAT first introduced, accountants should start by segmenting their client base to determine which clients will be affected by the change and when, considering 1. Do they have clients that are VAT registered but not yet signed up to MTD? These clients will be directly affected by the changes happening in April 2021. Accountants need to look at how they're currently submitting VAT returns. 2. Are these clients currently using bookkeeping software to submit their non-MTD VAT returns? If yes, from April 2021, they will no longer be able to submit VAT returns from their software. This is because HMRC are withdrawing the filing channel. 3. What are the options for these clients? They can choose to voluntarily sign up to MTD for VAT ahead of the 2022 mandation. This would enable them to continue to use their software to submit VAT and will be the least disruptive option. Alternatively, they can continue to use their software to generate the non-MTD submission, but they'll need to log into their HMRC VAT account and manually type the 9-box figures in directly to HMRC. So what would Sage recommend? We recommend these businesses voluntarily register for MTD for VAT. The changes happening in April 2022 will mean that they will have to sign up in 2022 anyway, and opting to do this early from April 2021 will be the least disruptive option, allowing them to continue their current workflow of submission via software. What about VAT registered clients not yet using software? Clients not yet using software will be filing non-MTD VAT returns directly with HMRC anyway, so won't be affected by the changes in 2021, but will be affected in 2022 when MTD is rolled out to all VAT registered businesses. In 2022, they will need functional compatible software, known as commercial software, in order to submit their VAT return in line with the compliance requirement for MTD. Accountants should start moving these clients to bookkeeping software ahead of the 2022 deadline to ease the transition. Let's now take a look on how you can segment your clients. Start by asking if the business is VAT registered. If the answer to this is no, they won't be affected by these changes, but if the business is unincorporated, they will need to start thinking about MTD for income tax in the next 12 months. If the answer to this is yes, you need to be asking, are they registered for MTD for VAT? If the answer to this is yes, they should already be registered for MTD for VAT, so the changes in 2021 and 2022 relating to VAT won't affect them. However, if the answer is no, you need to be asking, are they using software today to submit non-MTD VAT returns to HMRC? If no, they can continue to file directly with HMRC until April 2022, when they will need to use commercial software to file MTD returns to HMRC in line with MTD compliance requirements. If the answer to this is yes, from April 2021, they won't need to be able to continue using software to file their returns. In this case, you can see on screen again the option number 1 and the option number 2 that we discussed earlier. So let's now discuss the exciting new features and updates in Sage Business Cloud Accounting. The functionality updates that I'm going to be taking you through today are the domestic reverse charge in Sage Accounting, reporting, some changes in the banking area, settings, mobile application and extra features, and finally the payroll new features and updates. From the 1st of March, all contractors and subcontractors registered under the CIS scheme need to charge VAT using the reverse charge mechanism. To take the stress away from remembering to do this on your CIS transactions, we've automatically updated all VAT registered contacts to use reverse charge VAT, so you can be sure that new invoices created after the 1st of March will have reverse charge VAT applied. Let's see what happens from a supplier point of view. Supplier records within Sage Business Cloud will be updated to include the reverse tick box. This will be visible on both existing suppliers and when creating a new supplier record as well. When a supplier has CIS details entered and the VAT number has been added, this tick box will be automatically selected. Domestic reverse charge will then be applied on all future invoices. However, this can be overridden on an invoice by invoice basis. In this example here, I have selected a CIS and VAT registered supplier and the invoice is dated after the 1st of March. As you can see, there is a tick box on the invoice itself. This can be deselected. As you can see, it has selected reverse charge VAT and it has been calculated but not added to the total of the invoice. The banner on the invoice will be updated to indicate the invoice includes reverse charge also. Now, once the invoice is saved, it will ensure the national VAT is applied to the VAT return. This means that the VAT return will impact values in boxes 7 and 4, and it will also show the net element of the transaction. Just like we saw with the suppliers, we also have the VAT reverse charge tick box within the existing customers and also when creating new customer record. The same rules apply if the CIS details and the VAT registered number have been entered, then this will be automatically selected. This can be deselected if you know that domestic reverse charge will not apply. For example, if you know you're dealing with the end user. So now if you're creating an invoice dated after the 1st of March, where the customer has the VAT reverse charge tick box selected, you can see some changes. The wording on the banner indicates the reverse charge has been applied. The Use Reverse Charge tick box has been selected and remembered, this can be deselected if reverse charge does not apply to the invoice. Finally, the reverse charge has been calculated but not added to the overall total of the invoice. This means when you're producing your VAT return, the net value will appear in box 6 on the VAT return only. Do bear in mind, as mentioned earlier, once the tick box is selected to apply domestic reverse charge to the invoice, it will apply it to the entire invoice. Within sales, the domestic reverse charge can be applied to quotes and estimates, and this will be carried over into the invoice once they are converted. When it comes to printing or emailing these invoices, our layouts have been configured to display the reverse charge. Whilst not adding it to the total, it will also contain the correct domestic reverse charge wording for you. Users can now create recurring invoices with domestic reverse charge applied. Existing recurring invoices should be reviewed after March the 1st to ensure the correct VAT is applied. Domestic reverse charge cannot be applied to quick entries. So let's see some improvements in the reporting area. This is in response to a request from our valued accountants. Now you can run reports for a selected period to get a snapshot of what your nominal ledger account balances are up until the date, or select the period you would like to analyze. This is helpful to accountants in 3 ways. You can easily view a breakdown of retained earnings. You're able to choose to hide zero balances accounts. By clicking on any of the account balances, you can drill down to the transactions that make up that balance, ensuring the accuracy of your customers' accounts. We also made it easier for you to access the profit and loss. To access these reports, select Reporting, Profit and Loss, Standard, or Profit and Loss Comparative from the main menu. Previously, the Profit and Loss Comparative report displayed when you selected the beta version link from the Standard report. When running the Profit and Loss report, you can now choose between the Standard or Comparative versions. The Standard version shows income, expenses, and profit for the current financial year. The comparative version compares the same information in the current financial year to the previous financial year. Once a profit and loss report is open, select the button if you want to switch to the other version. Previously, the profit and loss comparative report displayed when you selected the beta version link from the standard report. Let's now take a look at the new enhancements that have been created to make it easier for you to manage your clients' money. Easily navigate back to the banking page with the new Back to Banking button. Shown in the top toolbar, this allows you to go back to your bank accounts. We know that you're constantly juggling tasks, so to ensure you're using the right bank accounts, we've introduced the options to mark unused or closed bank accounts as inactive. This hides them from your day-to-day transactions whilst ensuring they are still available for audit purposes. In order to make bank reconciliations easier, we've moved the Reconcile button. To access it, go back to Banking and then select the bank account. It's now located to the left of the New Entry button. Here you can see a few new banks that have been added to our bank feed list. Let's now see what new options we've added within the settings area. We also added a lot of new mobile application enhancements in the past 6 months, giving customers and accountants a more seamless experience between the web and the mobile application. To make document customization easier, we moved document settings to their own new section in the settings page. With this change, we also renamed some groups to better explain in the settings within. Previously, these settings were located in the Invoice and Business Preferences section, which is now renamed to Business Preferences. Find the content you're looking for with less information. To make life a little bit easier, enter a contact's address or partial address, their main or mobile phone number, or just their primary name in the search field on Contact List. We've also updated the search field in the audit trail report to search by transaction number so you can quickly track down the history of the entry. This comes in handy when you're quickly needing to find transactions that show on your VAT returns. Whether you want to change your logo and templates, change labels and headings on the invoice itself, or change the text in emails you send to customers, we've now added handy links allowing you to customize your invoice. Select the option from the Customize menu at the bottom of the invoice to jump to the related settings. In Settings, you can now see how the templates look with your changes. Simply click Preview. Now, if you're using the mobile application, simply get organized by making the most of your time by invoicing your customers with the supporting attachments from any device. The mobile app allows you to gain complete visibility of what you're entering in, and it's fully compatible with CIS domestic reverse charge, so you can post on the go, giving you the same features as the web application from the palm of your hands. In addition to the exciting new features in Sage Accounting, I wanted to take this opportunity and show you some of the new enhancements in Sage Payroll too. This should help you understand what they are and how to use them. These changes are the Scottish student loan, IR35, the new FPS import option, and the new online payslips. From April 2021, a new plan type 4 for Scottish student loans is being introduced. The rules and behaviours are exactly the same as existing type 1 and type 2 loans. IR35 Off-Payroll Working Rules. The Off-Payroll Working Rules IR35 was introduced in 2000. It was designed to ensure that people working through a personal service company, PSC, who would have been regarded as employees if they were directly engaged by the client, pay broadly the same tax and national insurance as if they were employed. From April 2017, if the rules apply and the public authority is directly engaging the worker's PSC and public authority is required to deduct the relevant tax and national insurance before making any payments. If the worker is engaged through an agency, the public authority will pass on their decision and the agency paying the worker's PSC is required to deduct the relevant tax and national insurance before making any payments. The party paying the worker's PSC is also responsible for paying employers' national insurance for the engagement. So what is changing? The Autumn Budget 2018 announced the extension of the off-payroll working rules to medium and large-size organizations in the private and third sector from April 2020, but no small organizations. A small incorporated company, subject to the Companies Act 2006, must meet two of the following criteria: fewer than 50 employees, annual turnover of less than 10.2 million, or total balance sheet assets of less than £5.1 million. A small incorporated organization must have an annual turnover of less than £10.2 million. If a worker is assessed to be inside of the IR35 rules, then they are classed as a deemed employee, which means that although tax and national insurance be deducted, they are not entitled to any other employee benefits such as statutory pay, a pension, or holidays. An indicator must be included in the FPS when paying a deemed employee so that HMRC will deal with the deemed employee accordingly. To enable deemed employee, you'll need to go to the employee section, and when creating an employee, you'll need to enter the information as you would. There is now a new tick box, deemed employee. This will then feed through to other areas, ensuring the employee will be included or excluded where appropriate. Let's take a look on where that is. When you already have employees created, you can edit their tax details by going into the employees section. Click onto the employee you would like to edit. You can now see there is a new tick box, deemed employee, under the Edit Tax Details section. If you try to record an absence for a deemed employee, which they are excluded from, you will now see a warning message and a link to further guidance to appearing. This will now appear on the P32. You can now see on line 8 the NIC not eligible to be offset for employment allowance purposes. This is the contributions from any and all deemed employees in the company. We're working towards the future of the Sage Business Cloud payroll software. I would like to give you the freedom to have as many employees on the platform than you're currently allowed. This could be up to 75 employees, growing to 100. And this is where the FPS import would come in handy. The FPS holds lots of useful information. You'll be able to import this to make getting up and running quickly and easily. The FPS does not provide all of the information required, but this will be highlighted during the import. For example, P45 values and pension schemes. In a newly created company, you have three options to bring your employee details in. We're going to go with the new feature Import FPS. You are now presented with some information about the FPS and also what you need for a successful import. There is also a link to our excellent help content on this page if you need a little bit more guidance. It is a simple case of browsing to the file or dragging and dropping it as I have done here. You can also see some information about the FPS and also what you need for a successful import. There is also a link to our excellent help content on this page if you need a little bit more guidance. It's a simple case of browsing to the file or dragging and dropping it as I have done here. You can upload files one at a time, but as you can see from the message at the bottom, you can import more than once, and I will show you how to do that in a moment. Once the file is uploaded, you are now presented with a preview of the employee's data that you're going to bring into your company. The status column will give you further information about this employee and things you may need to check post-import. If you're importing at the start of the new tax year, you can just import your employees' details by ticking this box. This will migrate only the employees' details and will exclude any year-to-date values stored in the FPS file. If you're happy with the information on the screen, simply click Confirm. Then on the next message, select Complete Import. A successful import brings you to the payroll summary screen with a brilliant getting started video and a list of what you need to do next to get your payroll up and running. Work through the checklist above using the hyperlinks to guide you to complete the information that is required. You can see from the bottom in the success banner you can import another FPS file straight away using this hyperlink. As you can see here, I'm setting up my paydays first. The summary screen will now show you the other tasks that are part of your payroll tasks, and as you can see, the list has moved to the bottom right. When a task is complete, you can give it a tick. The tick boxes are dynamic, so if one depends on the other, you'll need to go through them in order. In the settings menu, you'll find the import file option to start a fresh import, and this will take you to the same simple wizard as we did before. A thing to take a note of here, if you're uploading the same file you have already uploaded this by accident, this will then be flagged. As you can see, the confirm box is grayed out. There are various different errors that could appear when importing as shown here. In this instance, the error highlighted is due to license restrictions. There is a link displayed to take you away to upgrading their license. Once you have upgraded, you'll be able to try to import again. In payroll, not only you can print, export, or email your employee pay slips, now you're also able to give your employees access to view and download their pay slips and P60s online. Some of the key benefits of using online pay slips are that pay slips are automatically published when you complete a pay run. Employees are automatically notified when their new pay slips is available. Your employees' personal information is secured stored. And also there is no cost associated with this feature at all. Let's have a look how to set up online pay slips. Firstly, log into your Sage Business Cloud payroll account as usual and look out for the new dialog box in the bottom right-hand corner of the summary screen. From there, select Find Out More. You'll then see an overview of how the feature works. If you're happy and want to proceed with the setup, select Set up Online Payslips. You must accept Sage HR's terms and conditions before continuing. Then a dialog will appear on screen, and once you're ready to invite your employees, select Go to Invite Employees to choose who from your employee list you'd like to invite. As an email invitation will send to them and they'll need to accept. If they do not have an email linked with their personal details, a missing information required pop-up will appear on your screen and allow you to enter their email address and national insurance number if these are also missing before continuing. Once you've chosen the employees you'd like to invite, select Invite to Online Payslips and then continue on the following pop-up dialog. The next time you complete your pay run, payslips will automatically be published for those employees. Select the online payslips to view employee payslips and P60s. You can select any employees listed below, which will bring up a history of their payslips and P60s. I'm able to click on each line if I want to see a more detailed breakdown of each payslip and P60. You can now view the detailed breakdown of the employee's payslip. You can also choose to print off the PDF version. We are committed to continuously listen, empathize, and solving the Sage accounting issues that matter most to you. One of the ways we're doing this is by asking you to share your requests and ideas with us on the Accounting Ideas portal, or you can even vote on other people's ideas that have already been submitted. We'll then keep you updated on the ideas you contributed to. So far, we've delivered on 6 of those ideas. We've got 12 great ideas in the works, and our product team is actively reviewing another 282 ideas. So how to access this? Within Accounting, simply click onto the Profile drop-down and then select Give Feedback and share your ideas. From there, you can add a new idea. You can even attach examples of that idea if you had any. You can also vote and comment on other people's ideas you would like to see added or improved. Finally, we review the ideas, filter, group, and categorize them, and everyone that's contributed to those ideas are informed once the feature is delivered. I will now share further support and training that's available to you. We've created a help page to give you all the Brexit information you need. In there, you'll find news, key Brexit dates, product support, webinars, business and government support, and our promise to you. Within the Brexit Hub, you'll find all the links to the pages of the different areas you'll need. You can treat this page as your one-stop shop for all the links to the different areas. We also have Sage University, where you can find learning materials to enhance your skills and obtain product certifications. Simply go to www.sageu.com and create an account if you haven't done that already. Just remember to add your account number. We've recently updated the look and feel of the Sage Business Cloud Accounting Learning Package, so please take a look and enjoy the wonderful training modules. So this slide concludes our webinar for today. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful rest of your day.